Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into Genesis 47, a wild story of crisis, leadership, and survival. So, how do you survive a global crisis without losing your faith? Let's figure it out together. Picture this. A brutal famine has absolutely devastated the ancient world, forcing Jacob's family out of Canaan. Joseph brings 5 of his brothers to Pharaoh. They humbly ask for refuge in Goshen to feed their flocks. And guess what? Pharaoh gives them Goshen, literally the best land, and even hires them as chief herdsmen. Next, Joseph brings his weary father, Jacob, before Pharaoh. It's a massive clash of 2 totally different worlds. Here's the crazy part. Even as a poor refugee, Jacob holds the spiritual authority to actually bless Pharaoh. Pharaoh asks, "How old are you?" Jacob replies that he's 130 years old. But he adds his days have been few and evil, showing deep honesty about his really tough life journey. Meanwhile, the famine keeps getting worse. Joseph has to step up with some serious crisis management in Egypt. It gets grim. First, the people run out of money. Then, they have to trade away their livestock. By year 2, Egyptians are so desperate they literally sell their lands and themselves to Pharaoh just to eat. Joseph buys the land, centralizing Pharaoh's power, and moves people into cities so he can efficiently distribute food. To manage the economy, Joseph rolls out a clever tax law. 20% of crops goes to Pharaoh. The other 80%, that stays with the people to feed their families and plant new seeds. The people are actually grateful. They openly declare that Joseph's wise leadership practically saved their lives. Now, while Egypt struggles, Jacob's family is thriving in Goshen. It perfectly shows God protecting his covenant people. Jacob ends up living safely in Egypt for 17 years, reaching a grand old age of 147. As he nears death, Jacob calls Joseph in for one final, deeply spiritual request. He insists on not being buried in Egypt, proving his ultimate faith is in God's eternal promised land. Joseph swears the oath to him. Jacob bows, securing his family's lasting connection to God's holy covenant. So, what's the big takeaway? God provides during crises, wise leadership saves lives, and his promises are forever. It leaves us with this. Are you trusting God's promises, even when your own days feel tough?